This podcast is sponsored by CSMI, the maker of the HUMAC Norm isokinetic system. Purchase a new or refurbished machine, or you can even upgrade an existing system to bring it up to date with all the latest testing and training applications. Please visit csmisolutions.com to view all of their available products, including the HUMAC Norm isokinetic system, the HUMAC Balance portable computerized balance system, and Sportswear Online. CSMI. Better data leads to better results.
The Everything PT podcast is sponsored by Vald Performance. Vald is the creator of the airbands for blood flow restriction therapy. If you are looking to stay up to date with today's post-surgical modalities and adding BFR to your clinic, please visit valdperformance.com. Hello, and welcome to the Everything PT podcast with Matt Taylor and Daniel Bodkin. Please do not consider anything you hear to be medical advice. Just a couple of guys ranting about everything PT. Enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, again, and welcome to the Everything PT podcast. I'm Matt Taylor, joined by my esteemed colleague, Daniel Bodkin. How are you, Daniel?
Matt, I'm good. I noticed you're in a different location.
I am in a different location. I just came from the APTA West Virginia state conference. I learned all about amputations, and it's actually very interesting. I didn't think I'd be interested.
USF Bull, huh?
Yeah, I thought you might know that gentleman. Yeah, he was Dr. Love was his name. So I figured you would know him since he was from USF.
Is this a one-day conference for you?
No, this is so we golfed yesterday. Today we have all about amputees, and tomorrow is about imaging and cancer treatment. So I am very interesting in imaging. You know, I know we recently talked about that too. So
last time we talked about managing your schedule and how just by making little tweaks and changes to your schedule, you can improve your time effectiveness, but you can maybe even improve your reimbursement.
Yes.
So there's another big aspect of things I learned at the Hisomoto House of Pain down in Tampa. Was when I was with John, we started a clinical sales program. Mm-hmm. And so I saw what it took to start something like that, how beneficial it could be. And then when I moved to Nashville, I took that with me. And it was very successful. It was very successful, and it really helped out. So I figured we could talk about that tonight.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a lot to talk about. The more money we're able to make, the more we're able to help people, more lives we're able to touch. So I think it's very relevant.
So one way I thought about it was this. We got monthly financials from the group that I worked for in Nashville. And I look and I saw that essentially every month I would profit between $12 and $17 per visit. Mm-hmm. Out of however much I got reimbursed, on average, $12 to $17, depending on the month, went to profit.
Right.
But we also started a sales program, and I found, if I can, for, just every patient of mine, if I could sell them the same amount of equipment, mm-hmm. and have it be things that is very beneficial to them. It'll help them in their home exercise program. It'll make them more independent. At the same time, it's a win-win situation. I essentially got one extra visit out of every single patient without, spending time with my front desk, without doing documentation, without taking a spot on the schedule. So essentially, if I could, have my average, whether it's 12 visits per patient, all of a sudden it's 13 because I sold them things. That was huge. And at the end of the year, that really made a difference.
Yeah, no doubt. And you had the perfect name for it, the win-win situation, because, it's good for the business to win when we identify these needs for these patients, whether they're post-surgical, I do lymphedema, we sell compression. We sell, what else do? We sell a lot of hats. We've made a really cool looking hat, mm-hmm. T-shirts, water bottles, ice packs, hot packs. So we have a huge list, shoulder pulleys, TheraBand, the list goes on and on. So we're able to help a lot with that. And right now, they get it right now and part of their home program too.
Well, John told the story. Go back and listen to the John Hisomoto episode. And if you haven't subscribed and liked us, do that too. But he said, and I was there. So we had a adolescent young lady, and she had very pronated feet. And it was, bring your knees together, changing her whole mechanics. So we told the mom, hey, go out and get this specific kind of off-the-shelf orthotic. Now, John did do custom-made orthotics. But he found that with a lot of the patients, for the amount of money it costs, that most of them would get better with just off the shelf. So he told mom, hey, this is what you need. She comes back, doesn't have the right thing. So she goes back, buys something. She just bought one of everything because she didn't know what she needed. So he realized, we should have exactly what the patient needs.
Yes.
And it makes them, money at the same time. So some of the items I sold, most were things that made people feel better initially. So ice packs, that was probably one of my bigger sellers. I had a lot of patients with chronic pain who really benefited from BioFreeze. You can say this or that about BioFreeze. Essentially, I always kept a can open in the clinic. Sure. I would say, hey, do you want to try this? If it makes you feel better, you can have it. Or, you can try it, try it. And if you like it, buy it. So it wasn't a lot, but a lot of the patients said, what, that actually makes me feel better. So, that was one of the things we sold a lot of was BioFreeze. Think about, go back through your monthly financials, see how much money you spent on, TheraBand or whatever brand band you used last year. And most of the time you buy a big roll of it, you tie off what you need for the patient, cut it, and it walks out the door. So even if, you spent $200 on banding last year, well, $200 walking out the door. So what if you not only didn't lose that money, but you made money on that? I did a lot of McKinsey rolls. We tell people all the time, if you have somebody who would benefit from a lumbar roll, we'd have lumbar rolls. Orthotics. I kept, one or two sizes of orthotics at all times. I would let people try them out. I wouldn't just say, here, do this. I would actually send them home with a pair. I always had one that was a trial pair. Send them home with it for, a few days. They would try it out. If they thought it worked, then they would buy right there. You disinfect them, keep them for later. So that was good because I was really big on try before you buy if it was something that was a little more costly.
I think that's wise because you want to make sure that you're doing the patient a service. You're not just taking their money. It's not a money grab.
Absolutely.
We're serving the patient here. And the example that comes to my mind is I've had a couple people, and we had a bus driver that had chronic back pain, and he was doing his exercise and he was testing stronger, had better mobility, his scores were better, but still having trouble with the activity of driving the bus. So he bought a TLSO, an Aspen brace from us, and we make a 50% profit, but he had it the very same day that we talked about it. So there's a lot of value for that. And it was very helpful for him to tolerate the act of driving the bus.
We always would keep, various sizes of different ankle braces. We'd always keep a lace up, but we also kept like the active ankle, the one that was a little bit more functional for athletics.
Oh, that's a good one.
If they used a band for their rehab, they need a band for the home exercise program. Don't send them to Walmart to buy it or Amazon, have it right there. A lot of people spend, really, it's what you need initially, but also what you need when you're discharged, right? A lot of people would use the Swiss ball. I'm a big believer in the physio ball, the Swiss ball for various exercises. So we would always have, one or two of each size, laying around in the back storage room. So think about things that you have in your clinic. 1 to 3 pound weights. Yeah, we can say, hey, go use a can of beans. And you certainly can. But we'd always have between 1 and 5 pound dumbbells right there at the clinic. That way they could use it. Or, not while they're rehabbing, but when they're ready for discharge. All right. Hey, you're using a 5 pound dumbbell for your rotator cuff. Or a 3 pound. I have one right here. Yeah, you could go to Target and buy it. But here it is. A lot of times people, there's always a loyalty factor. They'd want to buy it from you.
Sure.
You mentioned before that you have exactly what they need when they need it. That's a huge convenience.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And also something I wanted to mention is we do not know how much money the patient has in their bank account, nor do we need to know. We are recommending their best product for their outcome too. And, I'll take, I'm a lymphedema specialist and we deal a lot with compression, and I always give them the talk. There's custom made compression, it's going to last you the longest. It's the tool for the job. It's the best. It's 3 times as expensive. It's also off the shelf. It's going to last, half the time. It'll allow you just to get in the game too. Which would you prefer? And you'd be amazed at people that say custom, and they don't have tons of money, but they value their health and wellness too. And then I'm blown away with people who are like, you know what, this is a great product. I really like this. I want to buy 3 of them. And all of a sudden the clinic makes, $1,000 from that right there, just because we're willing to provide a patient with that service and to help them.
Looking for a way to improve sport-specific training with your athletes? Then you have to check out Blazepods. Blazepods is a neurocognitive reaction training intervention that can be incorporated into your sessions for patients throughout the treatment spectrum. Visit blazepod.com. Enter code EVERYTHINGPT at checkout and save 15% off your order today. Hey, all you rehab specialists out there. Do you have an isokinetic dynamometer just sitting around your clinic not being used? Little known fact, isokinetic machines that aren't used regularly are at higher risk for bouts of sadness. Help your machine out and take CSMI's newest CEU course, Isokinetics 101 online, created by me, Daniel Bodkin, and learn how to use all the exercise and testing applications available on your machine. With new and exciting rehab techniques in your toolbox, your sad isokinetic machine can become an active member of the rehab team again and regain its happiness. Isokinetics 101 online by CSMI has been approved for 8 credit hours for athletic trainers, physical therapists, and physical therapy assistants. Contact your state board for details on specific requirements. This course is available at humacnorm.com/courses/isokinetics-101. Oh, another thing that a lot of people loved were the roller massagers. I'd always use the therapy one, but roller massagers, those were huge because it's something you're using on them. I did a lot for cervical lumbar, and they loved how it felt and the effects you get from it. But if they ever came in with their spouse, I wouldn't just do it with them. I'd show the spouse how to do it. I'd say, hey, when she's asking you to rub her neck because she's got chronic pain, how much time, at the end of the day, you don't want to do that. Try this. Right. Just let him do it for a few minutes and see how much easier it was for him to do and versus how much she, got an effect out of it. And that's great. Because if you're only coming to see me twice a week, but you can get, a Theracane was another one.
Oh, that's a good idea.
From your spouse or even from yourself. Those are big.
Yeah.
Foam rollers. Foam roller was a big one too.
Foam roller, yeah.
Foam rollers. Something
that I do in the clinic is for people with persistent pain. One of our goals is try to make them independent with pain management. So love the massage gun. You mentioned a foam roller, you mentioned the Theracane, with self massage. So all those are really, really good things, trying to make the patient independent with their goals and their plan of care. So why wouldn't we do this? I've gotten some pushback from clinicians, from some people in the clinic before about just annoyed with this, that's not what we do. We're just, trying to make $1. But I used to kind of feel that way, but I do not anymore, especially when what you said, they go out, the patients are going to go out and they're going to get not the best product, and they're going to delay their outcome if they get the right product at all sometimes.
I mean, how many times have you said, hey, this is the band you need, and it's like light to medium intensity. And they come back in and they got like the heavy band and it's a real short loop. And so it's not what they need. So, and tell me, where else can you go where you're purchasing a product or you're given a product? You don't go to Walmart and get, whatever you're buying for free. You don't even get it at the price that they're paying. Right. It's a business. So and a lot of times, when I moved to Nashville, the company who said, hey, let's, promote this to other clinics. And some clinicians bought in right away. They loved it. And others, they weren't, they felt really uncomfortable with it. The nice thing about where I worked, they let the director run the show. They didn't push it on anybody. And it was kind of cool because like clinic to clinic, you'd see the products that clinic liked there, and you'd see other ones elsewhere. Yes. It's again, you really have to believe that what you're selling them is something good, it's beneficial, and that you believe in.
Well, the things that we sell in our clinic are things that we are using all the time. Hot packs, cold packs, massage guns, pulleys, TheraBands, compression. I mean, those are things that we are dealing with day in and day out, and they are very, very much so
And you had
available.
supplements too for your gym rats, right?
Yeah, we sell Fit Aid too, mainly because I like to drink it. And I think it's all natural recovery drink, so I think it's good. But
Yep.
I might be alone there. Protein drinks, things that are good for people, that they're going to buy from Amazon. I'd rather us benefit from that, patient get it quickly rather than Jeff Bezos and Amazon. Jeff, if you're listening, sorry. So,
well, so that's another option too. I've seen before where you'll get set up with Amazon and you'll have a product line on your website, and it's the products that you have that you would sell in clinic, right?
Yeah.
It's an Amazon link. And then when people use your link to buy those products or any products from Amazon, something gets kicked back to you. So I've seen that done before. I hear it all the time on different podcasts or YouTube. It's usually my DIY YouTubers. I watch their channel and they say, here's a link to my products, and buy it and I'll get something in return. So that's another option too.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think it's just wise. And something else I wanted to mention was the per visit average, per patient, we get reimbursed. I think the average is between $80 to $90 per visit. We want that to be as high as we can. Obviously, we want it to be the higher we can get it, the more employees we can have, the less workload, the more vacation, the more team building trips. So that per visit average, ours is like $89, I think. But a big reason for that's high, in our state of West Virginia. Big reason for that is because we've added the win-win situation for the patient.
So I, did some numbers earlier. So how much do you mark things up, right? I basically said at least 50 up to 100%. So if I'm buying something for $10, I should sell it for $15 to $20, right? So half the amount or that full amount. And I think when I was at Star, we did 100% markup. So I looked at, I used Meyer PT. I looked today, the numbers are a little different than, 4 years ago, but I saw a cervical ice pack or just a regular ice pack was $15. So if I buy that for $15, I'm going to sell it for up to $30.
Sure.
And then, a CLX TheraBand. I'm a big believer in CLX versus some of the other ones. But a CLX, I think I saw for $10. It might have been $10.60 or something. So I sell that for $20. So with that sale that somebody can use, they love using ice packs for their pain. They use a CLX band. So that right there gets you what, 15 to 10, so $25.
Right.
If I'm profiting $15 or even less, let's say I'm only getting $8 profit per visit.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 3 visits worth right there from something that's going to help your patient out, something that they're going to use. The band is going to help them get better because they're going to be able to use it for their home exercise plan. They have the cold pack because that helps out with their pain.
Sure.
It's very easy. It's simple.
Something else that's worth mentioning too is swag. We made some of these hats. I don't know if you've seen these hats that we had made. They're awesome, man. I'll have to send you one of them. They're great.
Well,
but
I'm trying to get the Jamie Lannister locks going. So
you're channeling your Game of Thrones.
Basically, Matt. I kept my hair like yours buzzed for years. So
it's high and tight, but not so tight in the top up. I have a permanent yarmulke on, it looks like, on top, but it's all good. No, but having hats, that we buy them for 20 and sell them for 35, and t-shirts. Those are people that want to sing your praises. They are leaving and they want to represent you. So let them, and make it affordable because you're marketing and you're making $1 on it too. So some quick math. If you make, I don't know, I chose $400. Say you make $400 a week extra from all that stuff that you're selling. That's an extra almost $21,000 in a year. And that is the cost of a part-time front desk person or whatever,
you've been saying that Medicare just cut 8% or whatever.
It's another 4% next year.
Even if all you did was, just do it here and there lightly, but you made up that difference. Think about how you're a clinic owner right now and you're like, oh crap, how am I going to make this work? I'm getting cut. I'm going to make, 8,000 or 10,000 less next year because of it. What if you just simply made that up? by doing things that
Yeah.
help patients.
Yeah. I think it's just wise and being entrepreneurial minded. And I think we're helping patients too. I definitely feel that way whenever the patient leaves the same day with a home program with compression or whatever they have that we have pulleys, for their frozen shoulder or whatever it is,
John used to bundle.
Oh my gosh.
A pulley. He'd tell them, 4 or 5 things that they would use, and he gave them a discount because they bought the bundle. Another thing I forgot to mention: assisted devices. Now, how many people come in and they need crutches? They need a cane. They could use hiking poles. So a lot of those things right there we kept on hand. And instead of sending them, hey, you're leaving me, now go to Walmart and buy the crutches. Have it right there.
That's a good point. And say they needed to go through insurance, that process can take weeks too. When in that time they might incur a fall too. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Well, Matt, I think that ends it for a Saturday night edition. What do you got going on?
I got a big old fat steak I'm about to eat with my brother-in-law. So I'm excited, man.
We just ordered some Indian, our cul-de-sac. 2 of the houses we're all decorating their stuff for Halloween, and we're going to do the other 2 next weekend.
Well, hey, we got some pretty cool guests coming up. I will leave it to the listeners' imagination, but I'm excited to have our guests.
Lining up a few.
Yeah. I'm genuinely excited to talk to these people. So it's going to be good.
Well, Matt, I think that's it, my friend.
All right, buddy. I will see you next week. Catch you listeners next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.